Are you a fan of the Dragon Ball Super card game? If so, check out QueenCityGaming.com for sealed product, singles, and more. Just use promo code MafubaJar-10 to save 10% off your order every time.
Welcome back to the Mafuba Jar. We've been sealed away for another awesome deck profile. And today, guys, you're in for quite a treat with a Green Sun Goku deck profiled by a good friend of mine over here.
Joshua Smoke.
What's going on, man? How you doing today?
I'm good.
Thank you very, very much for showing us this deck of yours. Greatly appreciate it. And with that, man, you take it away. Show us what makes this deck so awesome.
Alright, so I've been really enjoying the Clash of Fate Sun Goku. If no one knows what it is, it's a burst 2 leader. When you ever attack, you burst the top 2 cards, you discard a green card from your hand, and then you draw 2 cards. When it awakens, it's 4 less life. You untap 2 energy and flip it over. What makes this leader really cool is it's sparking 5. Whenever it attacks, you draw a card. If a Krillin is in the drop area, this card gains 5k and double strike for the duration of turn.
So that's how this leader kind of earns the nickname Kill Krillin Build, or Die Krillin, Die whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. I play 4 of the newfound power Sun Gohans. Sometimes self-awakening is good, other times, depending on the matchup, you really don't want to. But it's just a great utility card for some extra damage if you want to get to your opponent. Then I play 4 of Trunks Bridge the Future. I like this card really a lot because it searches for a Saiyan, not a Goku, not specifically like the Gohan that a lot of people are running right now. It says search for a green Goku. A lot of the deck is different Saiyans. I like actually searching for one Saiyan in particular. So looking at the top 2 and feeling my drop area is really good for this deck.
Yeah, it's any Saiyan too. Like, there's no cost, no specific name, no color, specific thing. It's just any Saiyan whatsoever.
Alright, so I also run 4 Krillin Calling for Help. This card's really good right now because if your leader is Son Goku and it's flipped over, it becomes a 4-drop blocker. You obviously get to draw a card with it, but there's a tech in here later on I'll show you that when this guy gets KO'd, you get to drop another guy for free.
And it's like one of the most powerful parts of the deck, being able to drop him for free.
Yeah, it's really good. Then I play 4. Raditz the Obsession.
Oppressor, now you're good. I get that mixed up a lot. You're good, man.
Yeah. When you play this card, you draw a card. Obviously, you play this because a lot of the blue decks that want to run untapping, like Senzu Beans, Dimensional Magics, you want to try to stop it on their turn. I found a lot of times this card comes in clutch against Janemba on their turn because they can't extend their plays. Other than on your turn, they can stop it, but you don't want them extending their plays and milling you out faster than what you want. Then I run 3 Broly Demonic Origins. I only own 3. I would like to run 4.
3 to 4 is a good number.
I like the 3 right now. Energy Exhaust. Obviously, if you have another multicolor card in your drop, or I'm sorry, in your energy, it comes untapped, which is cool. I play 1 Son Goku and Piccolo Buddy Friendship. I like this card a lot because sometimes playing it for 2 and getting that critical alliance, kind of like getting the power boost from a Gohan, is really good. You get to draw 2 cards. So being able to gain your hand back from a big turn where they've hit you and you're trying to out-combo them is really good. But most of the time I do charge this card because it's energy fodder for me. I run 2 SS God Vegeta Energy of the Gods, mostly because the 1/2 drops that come out. I get to play it for free, against the Pan deck because I get to spam out faster than I do. But I get to KO 2 or less from adds up to 2 or less.
Yeah, to be able to play it for only 1 energy when they have to stuff out, that's crazy.
1 energy, sparking 3. I mean, you can't ask for a 15k 1 drop that's any better.
Yeah, not to mention you'll get it immediately with your specific leader.
Yeah. So the next few cards I'm going to show you, next 5 cards I'm going to show you, most people run a different split than I do. I personally like the other card more than I do the other. So I run 2 Vegeta the Cruels. A lot of people are running 3 of these. My personal opinion, I love it. Great card against a lot of decks. But the next card I'm going to show you to me is better because I can either play it on their turn or my turn. So I like 3 of the Kaioken, the Mach Speed Kaioken Son Gokus, because I get to KO something on my turn if it's a problematic card like a blocker. If I'm in a predicament where a blocker's on the board and I can't swing in for game, this guy comes in clutch a lot. So I prefer the Kaioken Son Goku Mach Speed over the Cruel.
Because the Kaioken, I believe, gets its effect on either turn.
Right, it gives it minus 10k on your turn or your opponent's turn. But if you play it on your opponent's turn, it gets additional minus 5k.
Oh, gotcha.
Where the Vegeta the Cruel is only your opponent's turn.
Okay, I actually didn't know that myself.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was playing this deck. I was really just learning how to play it. I tried to play this on my turn to KO something and warp a card just to get a little bit more advantage, and I couldn't do that. I actually got told that you can't. So I prefer to run 3 and a 2 split, preferably because this guy here comes in clutch a lot of times. A lot. I mean, a 2-drop 15k that can kill something on your turn, it gives it more pressure on your opponent when you're trying to go for game.
Not to mention something to throw out there. Since this is reducing power, one thing this could deal with, Zamasu.
It can deal with Zamasu, the new veggie package where they're doing the 1-drop and the 2-drops. I found a lot of times where what they're doing is when they have their Champas out and they're trying to especially the veggie deck, when they're trying to combo and place the 4-drops on top of it, I found a lot of times playing this, KOing 2 of their guys, actually takes that other card and puts it in the drop, I believe, because it's no longer a target on the board.
Yep.
The next cards I'm going to show you are mainly the win cons of this deck. You'll see why the ratios are the way they are for me, but most of the time they're really good cards. Unfortunately, I don't have 4 foils of this, but the Gogeta, the SSB Gogeta, I play 4 of them. Obviously, we play a lot of dual color energy in this deck and a lot of red and green. So this guy right here, KO guy and a double strike 20k on the board on your opponent's turn or even your turn, it's just really good. You can't get
that card is stupid.
I mean, I've seen him I've seen decks, especially the pan that runs him right now, go from 0 cards on the board to, KOing stuff and bringing this guy out and having more power. So 20k double strike is really good right now in the format. The next few cards I'm going to show you are going to be the main win cons of this deck. I run 2 of the Final Showdown Son Gokus. Double strike, really good. If you KO the Krillin, like I said, a 4-drop Krillin, you get to play for free. It also KOs something with KOs a battle card, ignoring barrier, which is really interesting in this format right now because a lot of cards are having barrier, or they're just ignoring a problematic card. So if they KO, let's say your Krillin on, you block with your Krillin as a turn 4, and then you play this guy on their turn, you get to KO one of their big guys. So I like it a lot, especially against, to be honest, Height of Mastery. Really good card against Height of Mastery. The next card is Kaioken Son Goku, Defender of Earth.
Oh, that card's stupidly busted.
This card's busted. Everybody knows what this card can do, but I'll read it off anyways. If you have 20 or more green or red cards in your drop area, reduce the energy cost by 2. Turn 5, this card just absolutely dominates. When your life reaches 1, for a duration of turn, this card gains triple strike and dual attack, and it can't be KO'd by your opponent. It can't be KO'd at all by your opponent's skills.
Yeah, that's dumb, and not to mention he could take life on his own, and you can not only see your opponent's hand, but discard cards from there as well each time you take a life, and that's not once per turn.
No, and he also gains 25k for each time it happens. A lot of times I find out, play this guy, people just scoop anyways because they don't want it to. They can't really do anything with it, unless they actually have something in their hand to deal with it.
Yeah, so pretty much unless they counterplay him and you have enough life to get rid of that many cards from their hand, they're done.
Yeah. The next card is actually, I'll be honest, it's supposed to be the secret rare, but I don't own it. But I find a lot of times this card is really good in the matchup, in certain matchups. I play one of Fu, the Dark Banisher. This card comes in clutch against Janemba, against a lot of those decks that just want to be able to activate their stuff. And triple attack is insane in this format.
And not to mention they have to send a card to warp every single time they want to activate anything, would it be on a lead or battle cards. extra card, anything, they had to pitch a card.
This card right here has won me so many games. Like it's Janemba. You know, you play this, they kind of like negate their attacks. They have plenty of negates if you don't rip all of them out of their hand. But then you drop this guy on the next, you know, maybe the next turn or a turn or that same turn if you can get enough energy. And this guy right here just dominates.
Yeah, because that's the best way of dealing with Janemba is all hand destruction.
Yeah. The next card, I run defensive stance. Super Saiyan Vegeta. I like Paragus, but this card, because this deck does draw a lot of cards, you don't necessarily need it. And it's a Sparking 5. By turn 2, this guy's active, where I have to wait until turn 4 when I'm at 4 life for this guy to activate. A lot of times I want to be at 6. I want to be at 7 life, so I can use the Kaioken's ability.
That actually makes some sense with that.
Yeah.
Because I was actually thinking about it for a second too, about why not Paragus, but with that logic, I can understand that.
Yeah. I play 4 Shocking Death Balls. I know this deck is kind of counterintuitive between the life and the, you know, taking life and not taking life.
But still, like, a free negate's a free negate.
Yeah, a free negate, yeah, just like you said, free negate's a free negate, and you get the KO 2 or less, so a lot of the times this thing comes in clutch against Pan. I mean, Pan doesn't have a lot of ways to deal with KO stuff. They don't have a whole lot of barrier. The next couple cards, I'll save that. The next few cards are going to be kind of one-ofs of the deck, specifically because of certain matchups. I play one of Hidden Power of the Sands. This card can do 2 things. It can send a card to their drop area when they play it, or they can drop 2 cards from their life. A lot of times they'll want to, or not sorry, life, from the hand. A lot of times people want to keep the battle card and they want to get rid of cards in their hand, which is more beneficial for me because if I go to do Kaioken, they have less cards in their hand, now I can take more. So this card kind of comes in a little bit more of a better situation for me. I also play 1 Parental Strike because obviously decks that are a little bit more high hand or Janemba because some of their deck stuff has deflect, but you can get around a lot of that.
Yeah, some like the Agent of Destruction, for example, does not have deflect. So.
Yeah. This card right here is just absolutely great, but that's the reason why I only run a 1-on-1 split because I like to see different cards for certain matchups. And if you want and you don't need them at all, you can pitch these to draw the cards if you need to. My next one-of is For the Greater Good. Obviously, it's a negate. KO is a 1-drop, but this card can be played from your drop area, so it's a good. If you have this in your opening hand, you swing, you mill 2, you can ditch this card in the beginning game, and 9 times out of 10, your opponent forgets about that card's in the drop area.
So yeah, it's 2 negates in 1, essentially.
The next cards are going to be 2 feet Kamehameha. Honestly, flipping this guy over, swinging for double strike, and giving him 15k critical is absolutely insane.
Yeah, he becomes a 35 crit with just that alone.
Yeah,
35 double crit, I'm sorry.
Yeah, double strike critical. And again, the Janemba matchup is phenomenal because they get to play this, you get to attack, and they just kind of sit there and go, I'm not drawing any more cards at that time.
It's not even just the Janemba too, like Universe 6 they can come in handy a lot because they're doing all this stuff like early game, and I find out when I play, I don't have a very big hand.
Yeah.
And not to mention, even when they tap everything you have in rest mode, you still have your leader with a double crit to swing them with.
Exactly, and the thing is this card, originally I ran a 3-of, I saw it too much, I dropped it down to 2, I see it when I want it, then I dropped it to 1 because I was like, I need room for something else. I actually went back up to 2 because the card is just great. And if anything, amazing. It's a free card to pitch for the ability of the Son Goku. Yeah, and if you don't need it.
Yeah, unlike some of the other burst ones, when you pitch, he just says green card. It doesn't have to specifically be a green battle card.
So this is my deck profile for the Clash of Fate Son Goku. I hope you guys enjoy this. I love the deck. I've actually played it for a while now, and this has been my favorite deck so far since the set has been released.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a great deck. It still does well in big tournaments too, here and there.
I mean, the Kaioken, I'm sorry, where's that Kaioken at?
It was among the other three.
Yeah. So this Kaioken right here is just busted. I mean, right now, every deck that you see winning right now is running a version of Kaioken, and to be honest, there's a lot of decks that can stop this, but this is where to go right now if you really want a deck to be competitive and have a lot of fun with. I love it. It's kind of linear. It kind of tells you what you need to do, but at the same time, you do have to think because you can't take too much life. And you have to have, enough in your life to use his ability to even get anywhere near to winning. So my targets for him are negates, super combos, any of their big threats that they're ready to drop down next turn that you think you're going to lose. That's mainly my targets for.
Right, of course. Well, again, thank you very, very much for sharing this profile with us here today. And if you guys did enjoy his deck profile, be sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like and comment down below what you thought of this video. Definitely a very interesting and powerful deck indeed. Love the Clash of Fates stuff, especially the Goku and the Bardock. But I wish the Bardock was better.
Yeah, I do like the Bardock.
The leader is decent, but that, unfortunately, and it makes me want to cry inside, that's it. It's just the leader. This, at least everything about it's decent.
Yes, this guy didn't really have too much support until Kaioken came out and the new stuff. But the anniversary box did bring this guy up a little bit more because of the Krillin. This Krillin, and believe it or not, is actually a lot better than what people believe it is. A lot of people are running different versions of it. I like it a lot because, at the most, it's a one-drop draw card. I mean, you can play it early, play it cool, combo it out. It's in your drop area, so you don't have to worry about it. Having one in there. It's kind of like playing the skillless deck in a sense of you can just combo out one of your skillless guys, and it's automatically in there, so you don't have to worry about it next. You don't have to worry about it. This guy is just absolutely great. I love it.
So thank you so much for that. And with that, guys, hope you all have a fantastic day. See you all next time, and you've all been released.